Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Joy of Coding, episode 14. Let's get in here. This is our 14th episode. I'm just gonna switch to my screen so you can see it. Here's today's agenda. Again, a reminder: no plan survives breakfast. Hopefully, everything goes according to plan. But if it doesn't, well, that's kind of how these things sort of go. I have a general idea of what I want to do today, but if things go wrong, and that's okay. We are in irc.mozilla.org in the #livehacking IRC channel. If you want to join us there, that'd be great. Come talk to us. I've been mirroring episodes to YouTube again, so there's a link in the agenda. Oh, I should point out that the agenda, there's a link to this document that you're seeing right now in the additional links section of this video. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, go to the bottom under additional links, and there should be a link to this agenda that you can view and click on links. And if you're watching this on like YouTube, there's a link in the description to the blog post that will have this agenda. And if you're watching this on my blog, well, there's a link to the agenda from there. Anyways, so this episode around, hopefully no more dropped frames. I'm streaming at 24 FPS instead of, I think it was 25 or 30 before. And I'm only on the wired connection. I know last week there were some connection issues, so hopefully we won't have that problem occur this time. You'll also notice that I've changed my camera angle. So if before you've been noticing that I'm like mostly out of frame whenever I've been streaming, hopefully we will have fixed that with this new camera angle. This little child here represents the fact that two of our bugs that we were working on landed. The view source and save as bugs that we were dealing with for the cache key and stuff, that stuff landed, and it's on Central right now. If you download nightly and you view source, if you have E10S enabled and you view source, you're using that code that we wrote. If you try and save the page, you're using that code that we wrote, and that's great. I should point out that nightly is a little bit crashy right now, especially during session restore. That cache key bug that both of these save as and view source patches rely on is a little bit crashy. That's a known bug and will be fixed soon. Without further ado, let's get back to what we were doing last week, which was printing. We were working on this bug, 109.1112, which was making the print dialog. We're going to proxy it from the content process to the parent process, and then send information back down to the content process about what the user had selected in the dialog. And we had gotten a good chunk of the way. And today I rebased the patches that we had written last week to the tip of Mozilla Central. I actually just realized now that I did not build those patches despite having rebased them, but that's okay. I will check them out. It shouldn't be too heavy a rebuild, so I will rebuild them right now, and while we're doing that, we can kind of lay out what we want to do today. Hold on, there are some uncommitted changes. Yes, I had some work from earlier today that is unrelated to the bug we're going to work on, so I will just stash this right now. Stash fixes, and after this is all done, I will redo those. I will come up with a better commit message for that particular commit. Anyways, so now we want to check out the stuff that we are working on, which is this printing stuff, which is right here. So let's check it out, and then let's build it. And while we do that, we will figure out how we're going to tackle today's work. So building. So let's take a look at our notes for this bug. Where is it? Here we go. So we had done a bunch of the serialization work. Let me open the relevant files. So that's nsprint options x.mm. So this is the serialization stuff. We haven't actually done any of the deserialization stuff yet. I'm hoping we get to that. So let's add a checkbox for that. If you notice that like Evernote will hop around whenever I press enter, there's like this weird bug in the Evernote desktop client that I'm pressing enter and then this all kind of goes down, and I'm really hoping that they fix it soon because it's super annoying. But that's the explanation for why that's happening. So I want to deserialize the information that came in from the parent or child, because we can't assume both sides will deserialize. So from, I should say, the other process. That's what I should say there. Okay. But we weren't done our serialization stuff yet. There was this stuff. So there were 3 more things that we needed to serialize before we could move on, and that's this stuff. So we have this boolean that's stored in the, what was it called? The NS print data. Is that what it is? Print info? NS print info. We had this dictionary inside the print info that holds all this information that we're serializing and sending over. And one of those bits is a boolean value of whether or not we want to select, like we want to print just what's currently selected with like the cursor like this. And we are going to store that value inside a pre-existing flag on the print options flags, because there is a k enable selection RB. I don't exactly know why it's RB at the end, but that bit is for, like, the other platforms use that bit to indicate that yes, we want to print the selection. So we will use that too. So let's do that right now, shall we? How's our build doing, by the way? Still going. Still going. Hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, so we'll say data, and where we're going to put it, we're going to put it in this like print options, and how we can set the print options via, we had added this, let me show you a patch that we wrote last week so that you can see what we did. This one here, no, not this one. This one, serialize the NSI print settings options bit field. Let's take a look at that patch. So let's take the difference between this and this. And let's take a look at what we did. What we did was excuse me, we added, yes, an option flags member to the print data struct. And then we made it so that the print options on the NSI print settings IDL, we added this set print options bits so that we can write to it. And then in the sort of base implementation of print options, I know, print options, print settings, it's a lot of like pieces. There's like long explanations one could go into about why things are structured this way. I don't know if there's a really good reason anymore, but that's just kind of the way it is, and that's reality, and we kind of have to deal with it. But now we get the print options bits whenever we are deserializing. Oh, no, sorry. This is when we're serializing. We get the print options bits from the settings, and we stuff them in the option flags member that we added. And then down here, we set them. So what we need to do is do this step again, because this is all run, this stuff. Let me show you in the actual code as opposed to the diff. That was also for my edification, because I had forgotten what we'd done last week. So that was good for me too. But in this nsprint options impl, impl.cpp deserialize, down here, this all will run before any of this stuff runs, because we do it first. Like the serializing happens here, and the deserializing will always happen first. So what I think we should actually do is, after we've serialized all this, we need to get the value out of the dict, and then we need to stuff it back into, we kind of need to serialize this little bit again. Like we have to set the print options bits again properly on the here. I think that's how I want to do it. I'm trying to think if there's a better way of doing it, because it kind of seems silly to do it once and then again. But that's kind of how it goes. Let's see here. No, that's kind of how we have to do it. Yeah, it's kind of how we have to do it. Okay. Not the worst thing in the world. I mean, we've done it before. Like this num copies is being overwritten anyways. That's happening. Like we initially set num copies somewhere up here. Num copies right here, and then we're just overwriting it again down here. This kind of like overriding that the child does, that the subclass does, is not the worst thing in the world. So whatever, let's just do it. So the trick is we are going to read this value. This is the wrong bug I'm looking at. Let me load up the right bug. I don't even know why I'm bringing up the bug. We don't need to. We're going to read in this value of NS print selection only. It's going to be either yes or no, because that's how Cocoa, that's what Cocoa uses for Boolean. Yes or no versus true and false, but they're the meanings are equivalent. And we will store that value, like we will get the print option flags out of the print settings, or maybe we'll just get the bit field out of the data, the struct. I'm not entirely sure yet, but then we will flip that particular bit, the K enable selection RB bit, and let's take a look at what that looks like. And yeah, it's this bit right here. We'll flip this bit. I'm getting a lot of messages right now. It's just people retweeting me. Okay, that's what's happening. So we'll flip this bit, and then we'll stuff it back into the bits that we send over to the other process. So that's the plan. That's what we will do first. Our build is done. This is all good things. So let me just write what we're going to do here. We have as print options impl has already serialized. Well, hold on. Maybe we don't even need to do this step. Maybe we should see if K enable selection RB is already being used by the OSX backend to do it properly. Because if it is, then we've got this for free. It looks like can print selection set enabled, can print selection. So OSX will pay attention. We will set that properly. But I don't actually think we make use of this flag, NS print selection only. Double check, we do not. So maybe we're okay to just ignore it. Maybe we don't need to use it. You know what? Let's just avoid it. If we've never been using that flag before, let's not use it. So let's just skip that one. That was easy. Do we even use this one? NS print job saving URL? Maybe I should have been checking all these before I spend so much time serializing them. No, we don't use this one. Although, is it possible that, like, is it possible that this is somehow set in the background? No, I don't think so. And NS print time, do we even use that? No. Maybe we should audit these and figure out what we don't actually need to serialize. Wow, that would have been a NS print printer. You know what? I think, despite the fact that none of these appear to be being used in Gecko, I wonder if it's like, I wonder if we're doing the right thing by serializing them. I have a feeling we actually are. So I'm second guessing myself. Here's my train of thought. There's this dictionary that's wrapping this NS print info thing. We don't know how this dictionary even knows any of the stuff that it knows. It doesn't seem like Gecko is manually flipping any of these values in here because I find no reference to these values anywhere via DXR. But I also don't know a whole lot about how Gecko is doing printing. So I don't think I can just assume that these are not being used. I think we should just play it safe. So maybe I will go ahead and keep doing what I was doing. Full steam ahead. In for a penny, in for a pound. So you just saw me waffle a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. But maybe I should put a to-do in here just so I can revisit some of these. Maybe I'll ask someone with a little more experience. To-do. Are these fields... Is it even necessary to serialize? And, like, I don't need to put that down here. I should put that up here. Right here. Is it even necessary to serialize all of these fields? You know what? I think it probably is. It is because, okay, I know what's going on. The NS print info is what's being passed to the native like Cocoa print dialog, and that print dialog is probably setting those flags. And Gecko never looks at those, never messes around with them. It doesn't care. But whenever we finally hand off this print job to OS X, to the operating system, this print info is holding information that the operating system really wants to know. So we do want this stuff. I'm now certain that we do want this stuff. So I don't think we can just get away with not doing it. So let's do it. Sorry, I keep looking off screen, and that's because I'm used to having my camera right there. But you're right there now. I've moved my camera, so I apologize for the old habit. Hopefully I'll grow out of it. So let's take a look at whether or not we'll say bool print selection only equals we're bringing it in. So we'll do dict object for key and then this thing as print selection only bool value. So now we have this bool, and let's see. Flipping bits isn't a thing I'm really used to. That's kind of really low level stuff that I've seen it done, but let's see here. Set. We've got a get print options. I can set a print option, so I can set the bit here. Okay, so this will work. So what I'll do is I will say a settings set print options, and then I will say and that, and then I will say print selection only. So that sets it again on the in our bit mask, and then I will dash this value again here. Where did we do it? Where did we do it? Here. We'll read the bits in again. So that should put the newly written flag into the data struct. So let's see if that will even compile. I think that's under widget. Where are we right now? We are under widget. Yeah, Cocoa. And it's linking. It likes it. Assuming no linking failures, let's move on. So, good. Done. Now, these are a little more interesting because now we have to convert between two things that I've never worked with before, so I'm learning something new. This one's an NS URL, and this one's an NS date. I had done some research 2 weeks ago, before I'd even started this bug, on how to convert between an NS URL and a string, and I'd put this link in here to save me time, so hopefully this will help me. Hopefully I didn't just troll myself. What was I looking at? Absolute string. Accesses the parts of the URL. The URL for the receiver as an absolute URL. It's read-only as an NS string. Okay, great. So I can just read in the absolute string. So let's see if that's actually been used somewhere. I can use it as somewhere in Gecko. I can use it as an example. Okay. I just get this. I created an NS string pointer, kind of like what we did with fax number, etc. up there. Maybe I should move this up there, but we'll call this. What were we doing? This is the URL. Printing URL. Print to URL is what I'll call it. Equals, and then I'll say dict object for key, and then the URL itself like that, and then it's a. Actually, how do I get a URL value? Can I just say like? Could I get? I wonder if I could shortcut it and ask for it as the string value. I have a feeling I can't. That would be too simple. So I have a feeling I need to ask it as like an object value. But I've never tried to retrieve an object. Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I have. It's just like up here. I'm making a mountain of a molehill. So if print to URL, then let's get the. Let's just do what we do up here. But we have to do we have to operate on the absolute string. So we have to say nscoco utils get string for ns string, and then I'll pass it the print to URL, but I'm going to ask for the absolute string, and then say we'll put it in data. Where are we going to put it? Data print to file. Maybe that's why I should have called it here. Print to file. Print to file. Print to file. We'll say print to file. Print to file. Okay. I think that'll work. Let's put that. Whoop. Let's put that up here where the others are. I think I have to do blah blah blah. Okay. So let's see if it likes that. I'm guessing it will. Fingers crossed. Nope. Print to file doesn't exist. That's just I fat fingered a D. It's supposed to be print to file. How are we doing? Still doesn't like it. An NS string may not respond to absolute string. Oh, right, because I didn't. This isn't an NS string. This should be an NS URL. That's what we get out of there. Print to file URL. This is what I will do. Let's try that. That, I think, makes more sense. Nope. This time it doesn't like this second argument I'm passing to get string for NS string. Why is that? Print to file. What is the print p printing types? File. Print to file is a bool because I'm using the wrong field. I think I'm supposed to be using to file name. Probably. Doc URL? No, that's not what I want. It's to file name, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want. Print to file and then to file name. So that's what I should be using instead. So let me update my notes. Store this in to file name, and I should say probably set print to file to true if the string is length greater than, no, I don't need to do that. That seems like it's overboard. Gecko doesn't need to know this stuff. This is all about what the NS print info needs to know. So to file name, is that what I called it? To file name. It's easy to lose track of what it is that you're trying to fix. And I have to keep my eye on the prize here. And the eye on the prize is making sure NSPrintInfo is the same on both sides. That's it. And I'm using this struct to like hold all the information going back and forth. But other than that, that's all I need to do. That's my only goal here, is to make sure that the NSPrintInfo is the same on both sides. So that's the prize. Eye on the prize. So, NSPrint job saving URL is done. Last one, people. Then we can start with deserializing, and we'll see if any of this works. So that'll be good. NSPrint time. Let's do that one now. NSPrint time, I have a feeling it'll be similar to this stuff up here, where we're going to get an NSDate object. NSDate print time equals dict object for key NSPrint time. I don't even know if it's possible for no print time to be there. I even said fax number here where it shouldn't be fax number. It should be if the file URL is not set, if the print time. Okay, so we have this date thing, hopefully. And if so, we need to stuff it. We have to like convert it to a string, stuff it into this field, this member on the struct. So the trick is to convert this print time into a string. And I had done some research in the past, so let's take a look at this. String from date returns the string representation of a given date format using receiver's current settings. So that sounds super handy. That sounds like exactly what I want. Is there anything in Gecko that uses that I can use as inspiration? You'll find that I do that a lot. Oh, and I have to get like a formatter. Date formatter. Date formatter, what is that? I have to allocate a date formatter? I don't have to do that. And then release one. Maybe I do have to do that. So like allocate a date formatter. Can't I just like create one and not allocate it? It feels like it should be a thing that I can do. Let's see what other people have done. NS date formatter. I guess the class reference might be useful, but I'm really looking for, yeah, Stack Overflow. Oh, they do allocate one. So I might just have to do like an allocate and then deallocate when I'm done. But I'd really like to know if I can do it without having to like allocate one, without allocating one. Formatter. Search GitHub. Everybody's code. Show me a code. In Objective-C, please. Or Objective-C++. Either will do. If any of you out there are like really used to Objective-C and know what you're doing with Cocoa and stuff, I'm jealous because I don't. I'm learning as I go, which is why if what I'm doing right now seems like, oh, what a noob. Well, it's because I am a noob at Objective-C and Cocoa particularly. So let's see. Objective-C here. I think I'm not finding a whole lot of people doing anything except allocating. So I have a feeling I have to allocate. Whatever. Fine. I'll allocate one. Um, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. So NS date formatter. How did we do it in Gecko? We just like have this thing that's of type NS date formatter. What uh, it is of type, like, I'm not being silly, right? Like, what is this thing, this type of NS date formatter? H file formatter, date formatter. It's a, yeah, of course, it's a NS date formatter star formatter. Okay, equals, now let's allocate. Whoops. Equals, and then NS date formatter alloc init. Anytime you allocate, always know where you're going to deallocate. So I'm going to deallocate as soon as I'm done in here. So date formatter release is what I do. Formatter release will do the job apparently. So that's how you allocate and deallocate in Objective-C apparently. Huh. Alrighty. So now that I have my allocator, so what I'll do is now that I have my date formatter, I will. Oh, I can set the date format. Can't I just like? Isn't there? This is so complicated. Oh yeah, I already have it here. Is there a default one? Date formatter. Because I don't actually care. I don't care. Okay, let's just hope that there is a default, like, style. Default everything. Default, default, default. Modern behavior. Great. Great. There are default behaviors. Of course, that's great news. So now how do we turn our date into a string? As we take our formatter and then we call string from date on it. So we go tstamp is an NS string. So NS string timestamp equals formatter, and then we go. This is the definition of cargo culting, really. I'm looking at examples. I think I know what's going on, so maybe this isn't the definition of cargo culting, but string from date. But I'm really just kind of at the mercy of other people's work right now. And then I pass it a date. In this case, oh, this must be like doing today or something. I wonder if one could just do this to get a formatter. I'm going to try that. Like, just create one like that. Why not? Like, I feel like that should be a thing I should be able to do. Why not? I'm so whiny. So anyways, then I pass it a date. In this case, it is the print time. Right? Maybe I can just, I don't need to call anything, so print time. And then I'll have my timestamp. And now, I think I can just say data. Oh, I need to convert it. Yeah, NSCoco, and I have to make sure that one, like, it went well. If timestamp, NSCoco utils get string for NS string, and then I guess we'll just say timestamp, and then data. What do we call this field? Print time. It's printing time, and then we release. So let's see if that compiles, and then I'm going to try a thing where I try not to allocate and deallocate like a chump. All right. Sorry, someone's just pinging me on IRC. I'm just seeing whether or not it's an emergency. They need my help right away, and if so, we might have to like pause for a second while I deal with that. But if it can wait, okay, great. So I will just keep moving on. So that worked, but let's see if we can do it without allocating. So I will get rid of this, and then if can I just do like, what was being done? NS, what did I see? NS date date. So can I just do like NS formatter equals NS date formatter? How does that work? Oh, you know what? I have a feeling that returns something. If you call just date on NS date, it's returning a thing. You know what? Okay, not worth it. But I am gonna put in a to-do. Like, do I really need to allocate a formatter to do this? Okay. But done. We are done our serialization, people. Hooray! We did it. So let's we're all built. We're all ready to go. Now let's try the deserialization bits. Let's see here. How are we gonna approach this? I'm just more IRC stuff. I'm just telling people to hold up. So we're gonna put our deserialization work in here, and I guess it's similar to this. It's just all backwards. So we need to like, this is going to be an interesting part. We need to like pass this first document name to our mock, or how's it work? How's it work? Oh shoot, how's this going to work? Serialized print settings. How does this whole like mock thing occur? Let me just refresh my memory. What I'm talking about, just so we're clear, so when we serialize, we pass in this NSI web browser print, and we pass in an NSI print settings, and the end result, we put the spaghetti in the machine, and what comes out is this print data struct. And when we deserialize, we pass in the struct, and we just get an NSI print settings out, which seems a bit weird to me. And I'm curious to know what we don't get an NSI web browser print. Oh, I know why, because we created a mock one. So yeah, I'm starting to remember how it works, and I will show you now how it works. So under embedding components, printing UI, IPC, we have this like print, where are the utils? I call it utils, yeah, print data utils, and there's this thing called the mock web browser print that is constructed by default in the, I think, in the parent? In the parent. And where is it used? Mock. Yeah, we create it, and that's what we pass to like the Gecko parent side printing engine as like the mock web browser print, exactly. And we wrap the struct directly in it, so we don't actually like do deserialization. We to like a direct mimic, like we don't directly deserialize. Instead, we take our serialization and we like wrap this very thin veneer on top of it, this mock web browser print, to make it seem like it's an NSI web browser print, but it's not technically deserialization. It's like it's the closest we can get to deserialization without it actually being deserialization. It's like, what's a good analogy? It's like if you're trying to serialize uh, let's say you're trying to serialize a plate of spaghetti. So what you do is you have this plate of spaghetti. You need to serialize it so that it's going to someone else on the other side of the country. So instead of like mailing this plate of spaghetti because it'll be cold and gross by the time it reaches the destination, what you do is you tell them your recipe. So you tell them, this is how you make a plate of spaghetti, this is how I make it, this is the sauce you use, etc. This is how you reassemble it on your side. When you write all those instructions down, you send it in an email, which is way faster. On the other side, you have two choices. You can, like, the person on the other side can, like, recreate your spaghetti from scratch, which is what we do with the NSI print settings. But the other thing is this, like, little veneer is, like, you take those instructions and then you, like, simulate. You don't really simulate it, but you suppose we packed a picture of the spaghetti along with our instructions, so like you knew what it looked like in the end. And so the person who receives that picture of spaghetti, maybe they don't even want to eat the spaghetti. Maybe they just want to know what the spaghetti looks like. Well, we can show them this picture instead of like recreating the spaghetti recipe. So we just show the picture around, and that's what this mock. This I don't know if that's the best. That's the best analogy I could come with on the fly, but that's what this mock web browser print is. It's a picture of spaghetti. Okay. That's the best I can do on such short notice. And yeah, it like barely implements this interface, like this NSI web browser print interface. If you look, most of the methods are not implemented. The only one we're going to implement is enumerate document names. We're going to make this one work. And we have to make sure that we just have to make sure that it works properly. So, enumerate document names. We've got the picture of spaghetti. We're going to be great. Hopefully all that made some kind of sense. So, let's figure out how we're going to do that. So we've done this first step, which is to deserialize the print settings, and the whole, like, this bit is not actually going to happen in here. All of this stuff, like this stuff that we serialize, the later stuff that's not the document titles, will happen in here. So actually, I think we're done in here for now. But what we're going to work on, let me just write a note. I'll make this more specific. Deserialize the document names for enumerate. This is what we're working on right now. Enumerate document names. Deserialize document names for enumerate document names for mock web browser print. Great. Okay. So we also have to keep in mind that there are the other platforms that do not use this. So we have to make sure that, like, in the event that this, because the string is this, what is it, print job name? It's non-primitive. It's a string, so it'll just be blank in those cases. It'll be initialized to empty. So that's good to know. So we can check that right away. And I think in the event that enumerate document names, like if the string is empty, I think we just return 0 for the count, and I'm not sure what we return for the result. Do we return null? I don't actually know. Let's find out. Let's find out what other people do. So, enumerate document names. Scan around, scan around. Yeah, by default, I think we return the null pointer. If the number of docs would be 0. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. We set result to array at the end, which is moz xmalloc of numdocs, which would be 0, times, so it would be 0. When you moz xmalloc 0, what do you get? What do you get when you malloc with size 0? I do not know the answer to that question. Let's ask the internet. zero size malloc. The behavior is implementation defined. Uh-oh. You will either receive a null pointer or an address. Calling free for the received pointer should, however, not cause problems since free null is okay. Wait, freeing a null pointer? You should not be able to free a null pointer. Can you? It's allowed to return null, and it's allowed to return a non-null pointer you can't dereference. Both ways are sanctioned by the standard. What about Moz xmalloc? So if the size... Let's see what the definition does. Moz memmalloc impl. Jeez. Where are we? So many macros, whatever. JE malloc. JE malloc. JE malloc impl. I don't know. JE malloc size 0. Let's look at the man page. Oh, so freeing a null pointer is okay. Oh, it's only when you double free. That's the problem. When you double free something that is not a null pointer. Gotcha. That's why you always want to set your memory to null, or your reference to null after you freed. The return value. Sorry, I'm just reading this to see if I can figure out what'll happen. Oh, well, in the end, if the Stack Overflow article is to be believed, the standard says the behavior is either null pointer or the behavior is as if the size were some non-zero value, except that the return pointer shall not be used to access an object. So I think we're okay. Like, we're okay to return null pointers so long as we return 0, because if we return 0, the caller should know that they definitely shouldn't be trying to access whatever it is that we're returning. I think that's a safe assumption. So I think what we will do is we will return null here, and we will return 0 here in the event that the print job name is the empty string. That's what we'll do. Or maybe we should always just return the empty string in that case. Enumerate document names. No, we should return 0. I think. I'm sort of like quibbling about this, except no one else is probably calling this function, because if they did, they'd probably be erroring out, because right now we ns error not implemented on it. So I don't think it's worth worrying too much. So we need to see if mdata is, I believe, what we set the struct to mdata. Yes. So we try and access mdata dot print job name, and then we need to see the length of it. I'm trying to remember how you see the length of a string for an NS string. I always forget about strings. Like NS strings and IPDL. What is it? What are you as a string? Let's see what we did for Windows, because we worked with strings there. As print options win. Driver name. We assign. So whatever it is has a sign. So Mozilla internal string guide. Strings inside Gecko are nutty. I will say that without reservation. Length. I think we can just use length. Or is empty. Use that instead of testing if length equals 0. So we'll do is empty. Perfect. Is empty. Then what we will do is a count equals 0. Oh, wait. We'll do that right from the start. We'll say a count equals 0. We'll set that and we'll say a result equals null pointer. I think that's a safe thing to do. Let me take a look. Were we looking at other code that worked with this stuff? Enumerate. Were we doing enumerate? No, don't want the DXR in there. Do enumerate document names. Yeah, we just set to null. That was fine. And then we say if it's empty, well then we're done here. We'll return ns okay. Otherwise, a count equals 1. Some people are contacting me again. Hold up, I will just tell them that I am busy. Can I get back to you, Ben? Cool, and there we go. Okay, so we set a count to 1, and now we need to create a single element array, allocate it ourselves, because the caller is supposed to deallocate it, which is crazy. This is really old school. So like we do this, we'll do char 16 Moz alloc, do that. The only consumer that cares about this is OSX, and the OSX printing backend, or printing dialog, and even then, it only cares about the first. Oh, yeah, the first document name. That's why we only send a single document name through parent data. Okay. So we allocate that, and then what do? We need to like write to it to Unicode doc title string. So array 0 equals to new Unicode. Can I even just do that? And then I pass it the string. So in this case, mdata print job name. I also think I have to do this. Print job name. And then return. Oh, and then I have to set. I'll do that down here actually. A result. So array, right? Yep, and then return NSOK. And that should do it, I think. So let's see. And then, so who will pick that up? Probably, what was it, NSPrint dialog X. Enumerate. So that's going to enumerate them, and it's going to be 1. And so it will go through this, and then it will just free the rest of them. So it will free. And then, like, it frees. I equals 0, I is great. So it'll actually skip this because there's only one, then it'll free the first one, and then it'll set to null. Okay. So that'll work. That should work. Fingers crossed. I think it'll work. I think it'll work, people. Assuming I did all of this right. And new Unicode, do I even have access to that? Where even is that from? So let's try and build it. Will it like it? This is always... Oh, wow, that was surprising. It did. It's always a bit of a gamble. Sometimes you just you call out there into the world like, do you have this symbol? Oh, it didn't. That is not what I expected to see. Oh, that was before as well. I have a feeling this is unrelated, this warning. But I should follow up on that. What is going on there? Meanwhile, hey, what's up? That's working. Well, I assume it's working. I have no idea if it's going to work, but like that is done now. We can actually test that right now. I think we're at the point where we could see whether or not, when the dialog opens, whether or not we're getting the document name out. I think we can do that. Let's see if that works. So we can do that by running and then attaching to the parent process. And then when we attach to the parent process, what's print job name? What's it going to do with the print job name? Just so I know. What's it going to do? And print dialog. What's it do? It sets the job name. PM print settings, set job name. In the parent process. Which should be fine. I think like this is setting it like globally. Like the next print job is going to be called this, I guess. It's really weird. Printing in general, OS X might have the better printing API, the best that I've seen, but no one's got like it's all horrible. In working on these printing bugs, I've seen Windows, Linux, and OS X's printing APIs. And if I had to rate them, I would put Linux at the bottom, I would put Windows in the middle, I would put OS X on top. Those are my feelings. Use the function. Specifies the name of a print job. If you're using the print dialog, you should call this function before presenting the dialog. So it's just for the dialog. All right. So we'll see. We'll like halt here. We'll set a breakpoint. So let's attach GDB, or not GDB. Oh, I should have used my keyboard shortcut there. Remember last week we had that cool keyboard shortcut? I definitely should have used that. So we're attaching to Firefox. This has gotten a lot, it's gotten a lot slower to attach to Firefox lately. I don't know what the deal is. But sometimes Xcode's been slow lately. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm going to do this, put a breakpoint there in the parent process. Great. Fine. I don't know what those were. Let's not worry about it. And now here's the thing, like, I want to interact with debug, but it won't focus. Because, like, I have a feeling it's like thinking so much about it. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I should just use GDB. You know what? That might be the faster route. So let me just detach. This is a sad day. Sad day for Xcode. Switching over to GDB. What is my password? What time is it? It's almost 2 o'clock. Alright, let's see how far we get. Nope. Didn't want to attach to that. I want to attach to the process number, which is 62681. Boom. Reading in symbols. Blah de blah de blah. Great. And then we'll attach a breakpoint there. Continue. Now, do you behave? Not really. What a pain in the butt. Well, so this has nothing to do with Xcode. This has to do with something else. I wonder what the deal is. So this is the no plan survives breakfast thing. What's going on here? GDB is taking up a ton of memory. It's taking up a ton of CPU. Oh, and it just woke up. Great. Okay, so we're where we want to be, anyways. Okay, well let's just move on. I won't get distracted. So this is an E2NES tab. So I'm going to call print, and this should hit my breakpoint. We should hit my breakpoint. At some point. Hello. Do we just like fail an insertion, or what's going on here? Oh, it's just hung. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about. You know what? I have a feeling I'm swapping like crazy. Let me shut down some stuff. I will shut down IRC Cloud for now. That's taking up a bunch of memory. Maybe that'll help. And maybe I will swap less. Maybe Nightly is also. If I close a bunch of tabs, maybe I'll just shut it off for now. And it crashed. Great. Submit a crash report. OBS is also taking a bunch of memory or a bunch of CPU time, but I'm not gonna deal with that. So I don't. Okay, what I could do is just have it printed out instead of using the debugger. This is really frustrating. I really enjoy using a debugger. I don't like to printf debug, as some people like to do. Like, sometimes I'll printf debug. It's not the worst thing in the world. Whatever gets the job done gets the job done. But like, I'm more used to using a debugger, I should say. And what the dealio? What are you even doing? Sample, sample, sample. The hang monitor woke up. The hang monitor is running. Well, that's not too surprising. We have hung the process. Alright, well, F it. Let's go the garbagey route. We'll have it print out the document title. So it's going to get a doc string, cf string ref. What is a cf string ref? A cf string create with characters. Doc title 0. So maybe I can just like printf got document title and then doc title. Oh, I can't do that. It's not JavaScript. Are you crazy? And then doc title 0. All right. Well, let's see what happens. And that would be under embedding. Where would this be running? Widget. Widget Cocoa. Is this crash report even going? What is wrong with everything today? Everything is broken. Format specifies type char, but the argument is type char 16T. I think I'll be okay. How are we doing frames wise? I have no dropped frames. Great. My connection seems to be more consistent this time. Hooray. Blah blah blah. Loading up. Taking forever. Alright, so let's go to some page. Debug builds. So slow. Plus the Gecko profiler might be making everything slow. That's the height of irony. Peripeteia, as Thugnotes would call it. So let's try and print this now and see what happens. Print. Do I get a dialogue? Do I get anything? Nope. I think I crashed. We are crashing here. I think I have crashed the content process. That's what appears to be going down. Something went wrong in here. Ruh-roh. What happened? Stack trace. Why did you stack trace? Something went wrong inside. Serialized to print data on line 108. Here. Disposition. Short value. Maybe it's because it's not a short value. I guess I didn't crash it. I was expecting it to crash. What's happening? It might still be like trying to collect a crash report. I'm pretty sure I'm in a wacky state right now. Okay, I'm gonna kill this process. Yes, I had hit a crash. And it was like gathering information about it. So it doesn't like this line. The fact that I'm trying to store this NS print job disposition. So I guess I better figure out what this thing is. Maybe I had done it all wrong. Do we ever use it anywhere? No, we do not. Do we have documentation? Here we go. Don't be fooled. It's not that the value is a string. I thought that as well. That's what I was thinking just now. But it's like the key to it when using Swift is a string. But the actual value that's stored. Oh, it is a string object. Disposition. Oh, well, that explains it. NS print job disposition is supposed to be a string, and I thought it was a short. All right. Well, that explains it. Let's change this to disposition to NS string. And then let us, I think there was as print options, oh, sorry, impl, yeah. Disposition was setting it to 0, don't need to do that anymore. And let's set it properly here. Disposition, so that, we take that out of here. I mean, it's more like what we have going on up here, which is NS string disposition equals dict object for key, and what was it again? It was like, yeah, it's this thing. Then we say if disposition. It's Cocoa utils get string 4 and a string disposition. And we set it to data disposition. Right? And to do. Should we fail here if disposition is not available? Okay. Let's try building that. It hates it. It doesn't like it. Because I need to build the IPC stuff. So, it's safer to just do a full build. Make sure it's all in order. I thought we'd get a little bit further. I mean, we're at the point where we're starting to deserialize, and that's good. That's good. But I thought we'd be further. The good news is once we have, like, once we start the get to past this one thing, I want to make sure that we're deserializing properly. That's the document names. Then I'm pretty sure it's kind of easy after that. Pretty sure. So let's get past this hump, and then let's see how many of the easy ones we can knock out. I don't think we're gonna get this completely wrapped up today. I'm gonna break it to you right now. I thought we would. I thought it would be either today or next episode, but now I think we're gonna have this wrapped up and probably make a patch to put up for review next episode. And the person I think that we're gonna want to review this is probably Marcus Stanga, who he knows Cocoa. He's a hardcore Cocoa Objective-C guy who knows OS X. He's a brilliant developer here, works for Mozilla, and I'll have him look at it. And who knows, maybe he'll point me to someone else on who does Mac Dev, but I'll start with him. We'll see how it goes. Okay, we are linking. I've just been kind of wasting time while we link. And I think we linked. We did it. All right. So that all worked out. So let's do our test again once it's done its last bit of building. Whew. Kernel task. I always just assume kernel task means swapping. So maybe I just need to like restart my machine or something. Something is up. MDS. What are you? Never rains. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hurry yourself. There we go. Let's test this out. I want to see this working. I want that satisfaction. I can't get no. Banana satisfaction. There, I finished it. That's an old trick that Rocky Horror Picture Show used to play. Something about like keep leaving people waiting in anticipation. You know? Know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's now that I've killed enough time waiting for all this to boot up, let's see if this works. Woo! Okay. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Clicking print. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I see a print settings is null error, JavaScript error there. That's not great. Maybe I should investigate that. But something's happening. Hey, we got a document title. M. That's the first letter of my blog. My blog is M. So that's good. Um, that's what I think what we wanted. So we are sending it over, I think, or at least we're sending the first character over. I don't know how to print the rest of the string though. How do you print the rest of the string? Oh, because I want to make sure we've got the whole thing. I thought we would do it with printf, because I know. Because it's a char 16t, maybe it's different. Char 16t. Yeah. There might be a different way of printing it. Char 16t. What is a char 16t? A char 16t is I'm looking for the definition of a char 16. It's an unsigned short in Mozilla. I need to treat it as, right, it's like the Unicode stuff. I want to convert it to like a C string, like a null terminated C string. Well, let's see. Mozilla, here we go, back into the string guide. Like I said, strings in Gecko, pain in the butt. Because we got all this like Unicode, UTF-16. Yeah, here we go. ASCII, UT, 2 new C string, allocates a new char C string. Sounds great. Let's do it. These converters are very dangerous because they lose information. I don't care because this is just for printing, like to the console. So what if I do that? 2 new C string. That. You gonna flip out? Huh, punk? Let's find out. What I would really love to do is be able to attach my debugger, but it's acting like a jerk. So that's what's going on. Nope, doesn't know what two new C string is called, or what it is. 2 new C string. Where is that defined? String API. Alright, well, we'll just bring that in for giggles. Just giggles, not the other thing. String API. Go away. Alright. Satisfaction. Ugh, this is not. I don't care. I do not care about what you're complaining about. Okay, fine. So what do you want from me? String glue? What do you want? Readable utils? Is that what you want? Jump to file. Maybe they want readable utils. Include. What is your problem? Candidate function not viable. No conversion from. Oh, it's not expecting a char 16t. Okay. So I need to convert from a char 16t. Converting a raw string into a class of type NSA string. Yeah. Note that you must null terminate buffers used by if you don't want or can't null terminate, use. Maybe that's what I want. As dependent string. Where does stir in this case? Stir is yes. Yes, that's what I want. I think that's what I want. NS dependent. It's all this because my debugger won't work. NS dependent string. Okay, do you like that? Punk, do you like it? No, you don't. Do not pass non-trivial object type. Oh, it doesn't like that I'm passing it and doing that. So how do I print? So what does NS dependent string return? So what is it? It is of type that NS dependent string, which is an NST string. How do I get it? Begin reading. Set of characters. NS dependent. See it being used. I saw bad, not portable. .get, maybe? Maybe I just do .get on it. But that's just going to get a pointer. Is that better? This is all guesswork. I'm just stabbing. I'm randomly stabbing in an attempt to solve this problem. This looks more like it. This looks like it might work. My random stabbing may have gotten us somewhere. You'd be surprised how often that can be the case. So what's the time? It's 2:22. I think I might go until 3. I really want to get over this hump that we're at and deserialize a bunch of the other stuff. Because there's some tougher stuff that I want to deserialize. And then once we're doing that, it'd be great if we could wrap it up there and then just tie it with a bow, wrap it in a bow next week and get a patch up for review. I think that would be a pretty neat three-part bug fix, 3-part joy of coding thing if we did that. So print what you say console. You say print settings is null, but we saw you earlier, so it's okay. I guess okay in air quotes. Still gets M, so maybe it's possible that we are only sending a single character over, which is good to know because that's wrong. We don't want that. We want to send the whole thing. So let's see if our implementation might need correcting. It was here. 2 new Unicode, and then we got the print job name. And we used, what did we use for inspiration? Here. We got the doc title stir. These are auto strings. Auto strings. Oh, no, hold on. I think the question is it possible that we are serializing only the first character? That would happen here. Doc titles. Enumerate document names. Look, I would love to know what this thing is. All right, maybe GDB will work now. Let's see. Maybe it won't hate me. I'm really hoping so, because I really want it. I really want GDB to work again. I need my debugger. I need my tools. Okay, break. What even process did I just attach to? 74175. That's the child. Okay, so that's because I want to debug this thing. Yeah, GDB spinning up. I don't know why. What you doing? Why are you so expensive right now? What are you even doing, GDB? It's probably the same reason. It's like the same thing is going on between Xcode and GDB. Something is up. Read type. Die. It's reading types. I think it's like getting... This is all in order to... What? Do one event. Find symbols? Is it attempting to find symbols? Should I be like... doing a better job of building symbols or something? Well, child is responding again anyways. But we haven't hit my breakpoint yet. But we are locked up, so something is happening. Here we go. Alright. Hey! Wow, that only took forever. Enumerate document names. Get the document names. RVs NSOK. Title count. What was title count? 8. There are 8? Really? What could the documents be? Oh, maybe there are like iframes that I have open or something. Doc titles. Now I wish I could like... what are you? Dog titles. Yeah, sorry. And now dref 77. Now I'm freeing. What are we doing? 45. Did I even assign it? P data. P data. Let's see. Print. What was it? Print job name. What did I call it? Print pages across. Print time. Print all. Print job name. Length 18. Okay. What is it? P data. Print job name. It's an string internal. Can I like... How do I get at it? I want to... What? The length is 18. That's good. Do I have access to that? Okay. M data. Okay. Character type. All right. Now... Okay. I need to print it as a string. Char star. That's more like it. Now print the whole thing. Okay. M data. Can't access memory there. M. How do I get more? How do I get the next character? How do I print the next character, people? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I could read the rest of this string. What am I gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And I can't, like, what if I do this instead of that? $105. Now what if I char? Hey, all right, now we're on to something. M-I-K-E space C. Okay, so this is, we have it. We have the whole string in here. That was really silly what I just had to do in order to get this information. But basically, I have found a way of, like, reading the bits out of this string that we're looking at. Mike Conley's blarg. And then that's it. If I go one more, I'm out of bounds. So Mike Conley's blog is the name of the string. We have properly serialized it. What we're not doing is on the other side, assigning it properly, I don't believe. Or if we are, I don't think I'm not printing it out correctly. So maybe what I should do then is attach to here. Reinterpret cast. We don't do that very often. Unitchar. String length. No. CF title string. What is a CF string reference? What is a CF string? That's an Apple thing. So maybe maybe I can inspect that. So I will detach. And now I will attach to the parent. And we'll probably hit our lag again. Pull it together, debugger. I need you. I can't quit you. Actually, I could with a keyboard shortcut, but come on. It's using 4.42 gigs. What is happening? Okay, hold up. Hold up. I'm going to try a thing. I'm going to try a thing. What am I going to try? I'm going to... This could be all wrong. I'm going to say build symbols. Mock build symbols. I'd really like to, like, kill this thing that I'm doing here. Kill -9 GDB. Did I shut GDB down? Quit process. Force quit. Great. Okay. Now I'm going to, that's fine. I'm going to build symbols. Maybe that's all it wants. I don't even know what. And then we have like a worker making symbols. Maybe this is what GDB wants. I don't know. You would think that as a debug build, we'd just be spewing these out automatically. Maybe not. But this is another stab in the dark for trying to make things work. That's how I roll. Well, while that's happening, what's our next step? Let's assume for a second that the enumerate document names is working properly. Then what's the next step? We want to deserialize all of this stuff. Like, we need to get at the print info in the child process. And then, we need to create a new print info. We need to create like a new dictionary, stuff all of the stuff that we serialized into that dictionary, in its proper format, and then create a new print info with that dictionary, and then set the print info inside the settings X, and then we're done. That's the name of the game. So how are we gonna do that? Okay, so let's prepare. Let's write a few things out here. We need to create a new mutable NS dictionary. I think it's NS mutable dictionary is actually what's called mutable dictionary. Is that right? NS mutable dictionary to pass to NS print info that with the values that we got from the other process. So how do we create an NS mutable dictionary? Let's see what we've done elsewhere. That is still working. You can alloc one. Maybe maybe I should see some documentation for, like, I'm assuming NSPrint info will hold a reference to it. How do I want to do this? So where are my notes? It's print info. I want to like init with dictionary. Yeah, init with dictionary. Returns as print info object initialize the parameters in the specified dictionary. Dictionary, the possible key value pairs. So init with dictionary. I'd like to see examples of that. Init with dictionary. That's not exactly right. Let's try GitHub again. Or let's quickly check Gecko. Init with dictionary. Do we ever do that? No. Okay. GitHub. Dictionary. Code. Objective-C. Let's look for the word print. Nothing. Print, print, print. So let's add print. Maybe I should have said NS print info. Maybe something halfway through. They're passing nothing. Attributes. How do you do it? How do you do it? You pass in a dictionary. You can pass in null. Print info dict. This looks interesting. So they do, this person does allocate, oh, weird. Allocates a new dictionary, creates a dictionary, and then sets a bunch of objects, and it allocates, and then it's with dictionary. Okay. And then what does it do with this print info dict? Does it have to free it? Not really, because it gets it from the shared dict. The shared dict is the shared info. The shared print info is that thing that, like, I think is global. Shared print. So it creates a copy of the global, yeah, it creates a copy. And then it gets a dictionary from it. And then it clones that dictionary using print info dict. And then it sets the values. I think we can use that. I think we can use that same approach, where we get, instead of like creating a new dictionary from scratch, we'll get the shared dict, like the shared print info, get its dictionary, initialize a new dictionary with that shared info dictionary, and then just set the values in it, and then create a new print info passing in the dict. And now when we allocate, when do we deallocate? Print info. Oh, it's possible that when we set as print settings x, set print info, Cocoa, allocate release. Where do we release? Print info when we destruct. So it will release the print info when we destruct. Otherwise, when we might need to like set Cocoa print info. We might have to like deallocate it ourselves. Set Cocoa print info. Print info, print info. Get Cocoa print info. Gets the print info. Does it ever release it? Yes, it does. Okay, so it releases the... We'll have to do that. We'll have to get the print info from the current settings, release it, and then... Well, we'll do it in this order. We'll get the print info from the settings. We'll get a reference to it. Then we'll stash our new print info in there, and then we'll release the old one. That should work. Okay, let me write that down. Where would that be? Here. Deserializing. So that's something we'll do later on, like kind of as a last step. We need to replace the NSPrint info that NSI print settings is holding onto with the one we just created. NSI print setting, or NSPrint settings X will only release its NSPrint info on destruction, so it's up to us to release it. The old one here. Okay. How'd we do? So we finished building our symbols. Let's see if it's faster now to like attach the debugger. I feel like it should be, but if it's not, I'm gonna be a little upset, and I'm gonna have to like figure that out because I need my debugger. Actually, I might as well just try Xcode again. I needs my debugger. So, cool keyboard shortcut, and then parent process ID is 75130. Attaching. I'm going to turn a lot of these breakpoints off. Don't need them. Is there anything else I need to be worried about? Like, that might tell me what's going on? Well, that was faster. Like, I'm attached and it seems to be reacting again, so that's good. So maybe that's all I needed to do. Or maybe I just need to be more patient. I'm not entirely sure. What I do know is that something is definitely up. That's the most nondescript way I can... That's a very non-specific thing I just said, but something is going on that is unusual with my debuggers. But maybe I just need to be more patient. I don't know what that is that I just hit. But I'd hit them before, and it was somewhere in the JavaScript engine in a JS compartment. All right. So what am I doing here again? I'm just making sure that the string is what I hope it is, like the enumerate doc thing. I just want to make sure that it's working properly. Um, so now at some point I will hit the breakpoints. Just give it a sec to figure itself out. Child process is like doing its serialization work. It's taking forever. Now it's sending a message to the parent saying, hey, show me that dialogue. Boom. Breakpoint. Point break. We should make a debugger that has a lot of Point Break references in it. If you've never seen that film, it's a horrible, awesome film. It's great and awful at the same time. Okay, so I want to get the document names. So I've got the doc titles now. Can I just like, yes, okay, we have it. It's there. That's all I wanted to know. Thank goodness. It is there. Yay! So we did that right. And then it's going to free it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so our job there is done for this stuff. We have successfully set the job name. Thumbs up. Though I don't even see it being used anywhere. I don't know what the dealio is. Probably because we're not passing a valid print info and stuff, because like that print dialog does not look right. So maybe it'll come into play later. So now we need to get the print info. So in the deserialization stuff we were doing, let's get the print info. It's basically all this stuff again. So actually, we'll get the settings. And I'm going to call this old print info. And that might be null. I don't think it should be, but all we're going to do is check to see if it exists and then release it later. Something like that. But we have to set the new print info. Settings X set Cocoa print info. Is that what it is called? Set Cocoa print info. Yes. And then we have to pass it the new one that we create, which is we'll get there, but that's what we will do. Actually, I think I was happier with this down here. Now, I don't actually think we need the old dictionary. What we should do is, or can we use that dictionary? So when we deserialize, what's happening here? When we deserialize, what are we being passed? in this case, we're being passed a new print settings. And the child, where is that? We are being passed the original print settings. That's kind of wacky. But I can't complain, I wrote it. So I think it might be safer to, like, is it safer to just use the dict on whatever one we were just passed, as print settings says that we're going to have, like, we will have this print info. I don't think mprint info is ever, like, set to null unless you ever passed null pointer to this. Which, why would you do that? So maybe we can get away with that. Or not. Like, it's, I think we can just, and release, and then print info, shared print info. Alright, let's create a new one. NS print info, new print info equals NS print info shared info copy. Then we get the dict from it. Print dictionary. We'll get the dictionary from it. If not, fs warn if new print info. If we could not allocate it, return ns error. I think out of memory is what would happen there. Okay. We've got the dictionary now. Now we need to initialize. Sorry, we should do this. We need to create a new NS mutable dictionary to pass to NS print info with the values that we got with the other from the other process. Oh, wait. We don't want to just copy this. We want to initialize with dictionary. Can we? Let me look at the init with dictionary. Initialize an instance with the I'd like to see an example. Bah. What was that fella's example? So this is how he does it. So I think the way we're creating this is not right. We need to create it with the dictionary, and so we need our shared info, shared print info, and we don't copy it, but we'll get the dictionary from it. Shared print info. And shared dict. I like this guy's approach. As mutable dictionary. A shared print info dictionary. If there's no shared print info, everything's gone horribly wrong. Sworn if no shared dict, and everything's gone horribly wrong. And now we need to, what does he do? He create a new mutable dictionary. So, right. NS mute, or here goes what he does. NS dictionary, shared dict, NS mutable dictionary, new print info dict equals, and how's he do it? Sorry, he does, where was I? What? Did I go back somehow? Yeah. calls dictionary with dictionary. That's fun. Equals ns mutable dictionary with dictionary, passing it shared dict. Probably break that up like that. I guess. I don't know if that's proper style, whatever. Actually, you know what? It might be better if I do it like this. That's probably a little more readable. I assert more readable. And now we've got our new dictionary. And then in the end, what we'll want to do is create. We don't want to do that. We should, if not new print info dict, that is out of memory. Return as error out of memory. And okay, we need to create an as pass. Next, we create a new print info as print info with the values in our dictionary. So all the deserialization happens here. And then we'll, sorry, I'm bookending it here. We create a new NSPrintInfo with the values in our dictionary, and we do that. How do we do that? No, that's why I went backwards, because I used the keyboard shortcut to do that. But you do NSPrintInfo alloc. So we go NSPrintInfo, new printinfo. New printinfo equals NSPrintInfo alloc, and then we call it init with dictionary and pass it the new print info dict. I have a feeling we don't have to do this up here anymore because we haven't messed with it. We can just do this. And then we do, we should make sure that anything that we've allocated, like this, that's allocated now. So we have to deallocate it if this goes wrong. If not, new print info. Then we need to deallocate this, right? Mutable dictionary, print info dict. He releases it, right? No? Seriously? Does he never release either of these? Shared info, shared news. What is this? Dictionary with dictionary. Because we don't allocate it, maybe we don't have to free it. But he allocates this and doesn't deallocate it, so I don't think that's the right move. Oh, this fella. Init with dictionary, print info dict, and then what does he do? Tell me you release. Does anybody release? Nobody releases. Dealloc? What is the right move here? You get the shared dictionary, you get the print info dictionary. You allocate this print info thing, then what do you do with it? Create a print operation And then maybe this thing deallocates it. Print operation. Let's see. Two other objects were specified. How the code should be generated is important in this. Majority of methods copy the instance of NSPrintInfo passed into them. Future changes to that printinfo are not reflected in the printinfo retained by the current NSPrint operation. All changes should be made to the printinfo before passing to the methods of this class. The only method in NSPrintInfo operation was not copied as copy NSPrintInfo instance is setPrintInfo. What? What is being called here? Just the constructor, I think. I don't know if we're supposed to deallocate it. I kind of feel weird. I feel like... Alright, dictionary with dictionary. Do you deallocate? Release? I want to know if you release, auto-release, auto-release? This looks wrong. No. New dictionary. That's dictionary. I want that dictionary with dictionary. Creates and returns dictionary containing the keys and values from another dictionary. What's the difference between init with dictionary and dictionary with dictionary? Oh, found in a file. Oh, no, that's not the right thing. Where did I even go? What? Initializes a newly allocated dictionary by placing in it the keys and values, and was dictionary with dictionary. Creates and returns a dictionary containing the keys and values. That's slightly different. This creates and returns. Alright, I'd like to see examples of people using dictionary with dictionary. Program dict. Does it get released? It doesn't. So maybe I get away with it. Maybe it would just get released. Or maybe it's auto-release. Dictionary with dictionary. D. Sure. D. Set object. And returns it. This sounds interesting. Temp dict. Local storage. Here it releases it. I wonder if that's... Oh, this is MPL'd. Interesting. parameters. Do you ever release them? Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know. Do I need to release the new print info dict here? I'll ask Marcus. I'll ask someone who's smarter and knows Objective-C and Cocoa better than I do. Out of memory. Boom. And then, so then we have our new print info. And then all we need to do is pass that here. Oh, wait, no. We pass that here, new print info. And we release the old stuff. That might actually compile. Let's see. How are we doing on time, people? It is 3:06. I think I'm going to wrap it up in a second. If this compiles, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. We'll finish our deserialization next week, but it doesn't work. So let me make it compile, and then I'll commit my stuff, and then I'll stop for this week, and we will continue next week. So what is going wrong here? I probably just using the wrong name. I was supposed to use settings, not A settings. Anything else? This thing, 138, what is that? Shared print info. Oh, I need to close. I don't, what? Probably just use that. The whole Objective-C square brace thing, square bracket thing, kind of freaks me out. I don't really get it. I kind of get it, but it's just freaky syntax to me. I guess I felt the same way whenever I first saw Ruby for the first time, and like I saw how they did like these blocks of code, and they use the pipe symbol to say what's getting passed to the block and all that sort of thing. Okay, so that compiled. So we are, I think, at the end of things. I'm going to commit this work. Proxy opening print dialog on OSX to the parent. I think I will just commit amend. And call it a day. So let's see where we got to today. We got a pretty decent chunk of the way done on this bug. We're in the deserialization work. I think we'll get finished next episode. Fingers crossed, unless we hit any more roadblocks. I'm going to try and figure out what's going wrong with my debugger. Maybe you just need a machine restart. Maybe something is... I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it's weird. I'm hoping that we get it done next week. If not, definitely the week after. And if not, definitely the week after. And repeat. So, I want to thank you all for watching The Joy of Coding, episode 14. Thank you for joining me on this episode. If you are in the Mozilla community and you are hacking on stuff, I think it would be great to see you hacking on other things. Like I want to see you hacking on your stuff, is what I'm saying. I know at least 3 people have communicated me saying, I want to put together a show kind of like what you're doing. And I think that's really cool stuff. If that's something that you want to do, contact me, get in touch with me in #live hacking. I can connect you. Richard can connect you with the software that you need. We can get you connected with the hardware. Even if you're recording at home, maybe you're recording at home and like your bandwidth isn't amazing and you can't live hack, you can't live stream, that's okay. You can do a recording and then upload your recording later, overnight, for example, when you're asleep, and it sends up a bunch of data. It's perfectly doable, and we can make it happen. We should get some more cool live hacking content up on Air Mozilla. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So if that's the thing that interests you, come talk to me in IRC or talk to Richard. His IRC nick is Richard. You can't miss it. If you have any feedback about this episode or any of my episodes, don't hesitate to contact me on Twitter or on IRC, or if you go to my blog, you can comment on the videos after they go up on my blog. They usually show up on my blog on the weekend, so if you're watching this on my blog, leave a comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, leave a comment below with your feedback if you feel a certain way about the video. And yeah, I'll read all of them, and we'll get better at this whole thing. So thank you so much for watching The Joy of Coding. I really appreciate you spending time watching this, and I hope you have a great week. I will see you next week, next Wednesday, episode 15. It's going to be great. Take care.